The wind whistles across the ice, carrying the chill of an ocean beginning to fracture. A white shadow glides past, bearing the heartbeat of the polar realm. Every movement is a tactic, every breath a wager between survival and disappearance. The apex hunter watches, waits, and makes the move in the perfect instant. In this silent white world, who truly sets the rhythm? The sea, the ice, or the ancient instinct burning beneath thick fur? At the crown of the Arctic, where sunlight visits only a few weeks each year, the polar bear stands as the ultimate symbol of strength and adaptation. Its body stretches nearly 10 feet long, protected by 4 inches of fat and a coat that reflects light, a living marvel shaped by nature itself. Each day, it journeys across miles of melting ice, swimming through water below 30 degrees Fahrenheit in search of a seal's faint breath. Its deep eyes mirror the snowy sky. Its nose detects prey from more than a mile away. Every sense tuned to perfection for survival. Yet beyond sheer power, the polar bear embodies resilience. As the ice retreats, it continues to walk, steadfast, a reminder that life always finds a way to endure. Amid the endless white, it is not merely a hunter, but the symphony of creation itself, a living tribute to the strength and persistence of life. On a sheet of ice, smooth as glass, the polar bear pauses at a small breathing hole, the only sign of a seal below. It does not rush. It simply stands still, as if becoming part of the wind. Each breath is unhurried, each motion measured with the precision of a born strategist. When the seal rises for air, only fractions of a second mark the line between hunger and a full belly. The bear does not charge in anger. It moves with absolute focus. A single, swift, accurate action ends the chase in silence. On the ice, only widening ripples remain, and the cold lifts into the air. Each successful hunt brings an immense surge of energy. A single adult seal can provide over 100,000 calories, enough to sustain a polar bear for days across the open ice. It often eats the thick, energy-rich fat first, leaving the rest for Arctic foxes and gulls, a natural sharing between lives in the extreme cold. This strategy relies not just on strength, but on reading nature's rhythm. It knows where a seal is likely to surface, how to stand upwind to hide its scent, and how to wait for hours, even days. At the mouth of a melting glacier, the tide rises and falls about 6 feet each cycle, and the water shifts direction like a great machine breathing in rhythm. The polar bear watches each movement, searching for a chance as a pod of milky white belugas drifts too close to the shallow shore. It climbs onto slick, frozen rocks, attempting to strike from above. But the unexpected depth and wide escape route make the leap fall short. Undeterred, the bear dives back in, swimming hard to cut across the whale's path. Foam bursts white around it, but in the current, the beluga's speed far surpasses its own. The chase fades into the mist, leaving the bear alone amid the vast, cold water. Another bear chooses a different strategy, one that relies not on force, but on breath. It approaches a stretch of flat ice dotted with small breathing holes, like faint marks on a white canvas. A beluga can hold its breath for up to 20 minutes, but must resurface in a steady rhythm. The bear stands downwind, perfectly silent, memorizing the distances between each hole. The golden moment arrives. With a swift slide of only a few feet, it channels power from its shoulders. And in that brief instant, instinct restores the balance. The surface closes again, ripples fading under the northern wind. From the failed leap on the rocks to the success at the breathing hole, the polar bear reminds the frozen world that patience and adaptability are always the keys to survival. Wind chills the coast. No ice now, only rolling waves and salt water below 35 degrees Fahrenheit. On a dark gravel beach, hundreds of walruses pack together after diving for clams. Adult males weigh over 2,000 pounds, wear skin nearly 2 inches thick, and carry tusks longer than 3 feet, living fortresses in the cold sea. For the bear, this is a difficult target. Even so, it tests the moment. The thick, slick hide makes holding and control hard. Engaging a walrus, on land or in water, drains precious energy. It understands that a prolonged chase only burns reserves, so it finally lets go and keeps searching for another opening. Another walrus seems motionless, yet it is only resting. These probes are quick. After a few beats of assessment, the bear senses the mismatch in strength and moves on. Opportunity appears only when the herd's order shifts, revealing a younger animal at the edge. The bear seizes the instant, closing the distance because such moments are rare. A precise, efficient move secures a meal and adds a few days of energy. Without ice as a platform, the rules belong to the cold sea. Against full-grown fortresses, the polar bear survives on strategy, restraint, and a touch of luck. 3 keys that keep the fire of life alive. The hunger season stretches on. The coast lies bare. No seals, no stray whales, only cutting winds and a few other bear families moving with small cubs. In a world where energy determines survival, even the strongest sometimes must choose between natural ethics and staying alive. An adult bear approaches another mother and cub group, eyes fixed on a vulnerable young one. This is not cruelty, but a survival reflex when food runs out. On rare occasions, bears hunt their own kind, uncommon, yet part of an ecosystem where energy is the measure. The pursuit is brief and urgent. The mother resists, but the energy gap decides the rest. The bear does not act from ruthless drive. It takes in the calories needed to continue, a harsh exchange in the polar realm. In the bitter wind, with snow drifting like smoke, the polar bear keeps moving, carrying nature's austere lesson. At the edge between survival and disappearance, compassion and instinct can be separated by a single breath. Along the rocky coastline, where northern winds carry the scent of cold salt, wolves appear in the distance, several gray shapes moving carefully at the edge of the bear's sight. They do not come close, only watch. Between the two species lies an invisible boundary of instinct, respect for power, avoidance of conflict. The wolves know the difference well. They are not strong enough to challenge a polar bear, but they follow from afar, waiting for leftovers from its hunts. In this harsh northern wilderness, both survive through balance and distance. The bear keeps its territory, the wolves maintain their safety. A silent accord between two enduring symbols of life in the north. Far off the coast of Greenland, where cold currents converge, lives a remarkable whale, the narwhal. Adult males carry a tusk over 9 feet long, like a spiraled spear rising from the gray sea. They rarely approach shore, spending most of their time beneath thin ice and surfacing only through breathing holes to take air. At times in low ice years, polar bears encounter them. It is a rare coincidence, but if a narwhal surfaces where a bear is waiting, a swift, precise move can occur. Even so, most encounters end at a safe distance. The narwhal dives deep, and the bear watches from the surface. In truth, much of the energy a bear gains from this species comes from narwhals that drift ashore, uncommon yet valuable finds whose rich fat can sustain the bear for days. In a world where every source of energy matters, even death becomes a gift. The ocean returns to the North's great survivor. The short summer arrives. Ice melts, and the sea cliffs become home to thousands of seabirds. For the polar bear, they are not ideal prey, but they offer a rare chance to recover energy lost through the winter. It climbs the steep rocks, where the calls of gulls and terns echo in the wind. When a parent bird leaves the nest, the bear approaches carefully, taking eggs or a nestling not yet ready to fly. Each egg is small, yet to the bear, it is a valuable unit of energy. Though the food is modest, this behavior reveals remarkable adaptability. The ability to make use of every nutrient source in a harsh environment. When the ice has melted and the sea remains cold, sometimes the patience to scale each cliff becomes the strategy that carries it through a lean summer. Against a gray sky, the bear's silhouette fades into the pale blend of mist and wind. Each step it takes stands as proof of life's endurance in a world that seems ruled by cold and emptiness. Under the breath of creation, the polar bear continues its journey, silent, steadfast, and proud. If you've enjoyed this story of the wild and its magnificent struggle for survival, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to join us in exploring more extraordinary moments from our living planet.